Are we rolling? Rolling. Shout out to everyone in the chat already. All right, there we go. We rolling. All right. So in today's episode, for some of you guys that are not aware, we're going to be talking about cryptocurrency, which is something I used to talk about on a regular basis many moons ago. And not just crypto, but again, just, the whole economic everything going on. Again, if you watch this channel long, watch me long enough, I'm a huge proponent of things like silver, being your own bank, cryptocurrency, and all this other stuff. Now, I used to talk about this basically on a daily basis a long time ago, but I haven't talked about this in a long time. So, I have a, new anonymous subscriber out there, not new, but pretty new, and they reached out to me and they wanted me to talk about this subject. So as I'm doing more research on what the whole crypto space is these days, nowadays in today's world, I was surprised by how much it has changed, and not in a good way per se. And the person that wants me to talk about crypto is coming at me more from a beginner's perspective. So that's how we're going to be dealing with this. All right. But long story short, things have changed a lot, and it's not the same like what it used to be. So, what do I mean by that? Well, back in my day, back in, the early days of crypto, in fact, the earlier you go, the more this was valid. Basically, you could purchase cryptocurrency, Bitcoin and every other cryptocurrency. In fact, let's just look at some cryptocurrencies, while we chat, all right, so you guys can get an idea of where we're at here. But long story short, you could buy these things with cash, anonymously, all that good stuff. But, as time has gone on, those options have kind of gone away. All right, so, all right, there we go. We can see everything there. Here, 1 second. There. So, all right, that's basically, all the cryptocurrencies, all right? Some of you guys, know a little bit about this. Some of you guys don't. There's like, I don't know, not millions, but there's a lot of cryptocurrencies out there. But most people just know things like Bitcoin, maybe Monero, maybe the DogeCoin, for, obvious reasons, just Ethereum, right? Shit like that. But long story short, you know what I mean? Like this whole space is humongous, And back in the day, there was only a handful of currencies, and these days, again, they just keep growing and growing and growing. But in today's episode, we're going to be talking about the whole cryptocurrency aspect to living out here in Mexico and how that works. Okay, let me see. What's the best Mexican bank account? Well, that's not what we're talking about today. So I don't know. It just all depends on, but I'll answer it real quick. But honestly, it really just depends on you. You know what I mean? There's many banks. So like, I don't know. It just depends on what bank works best for you. But long story short, and talking about cryptocurrency. Okay. So the question is, how does someone buy Monero in Mexico? How does someone buy Bitcoin in Mexico? Now, the reason we went off with Monero instead of Bitcoin in the title was because Monero is a lot more difficult to purchase and handle and use and all this other stuff. Usually it's just Bitcoin. Now, we're going to be talking about everything. Bitcoin is the daddy of it all. But, we have to, again, what does it go with what the question was and what the person that's asking me this wants to know? And really, what they really want to know is, whether or not they can purchase cryptocurrency with cash, can they remain anonymous, and things like that. And we're going to be talking about that, okay? Because like I said, back in the day, it was very easy to do this. But as I was doing research on how it's done these days, it's almost impossible. Now, it can be done. All right. And I'm not going to be able to discuss much about that on this video, but let's just say that it can be done. One of the ways that it can be done that most people know about is things like local Bitcoins. OK, do some research on what local Bitcoins is. But basically, let's not forget what Bitcoin is and what cryptocurrency is. And it's a peer-to-peer currency. What is peer-to-peer currency? Hold on. I should have had my props ready. I forgot I was talking about this. My props. But anyway, shout out to Diana with $25 25 Mexican pesos, which is $1 these days.
Bruh.
But shout out to Diana. She's a member, so it's okay. Don't worry. She's already always donating. So shout out to her. All right, thank you very much. But yeah, 25 peso these days is $1. In fact, let's double check. All right, look, so you guys can see. 25 pesos is $1.40. All right, so thank you very much for the $1.42. Muchas gracias. Okay, so what were we talking about? Okay, so basically, what was I saying? What was the last thing I said? I lost my train of thought here. Oh yeah, peer-to-peer. So peer-to-peer means, again, like let's just use cash for a minute, okay? This is about $25. So this is 500 pesos, okay? So you guys can see what we're working with this, okay? Okay, so that's $28.42 right here. Okay? So anyways, with this right here, okay, let's say I'm paying for something, all right? I'm paying Lambo. I'm going to pay him, all right? I'm paying him with this currency. This is peer-to-peer. I'm a peer and he's the other peer, and there's a peer-to-peer transaction. Once I give it to him, he's got it. In fact, nobody knows that we did that transaction because it's in cash, and the only people that really know about that transaction are me and him. And maybe if let's say he bought like a car from me, he might, there might be some sort of paperwork to go with it. But most of the time, if you're buying something in cash, nobody knows about it, even though cash is tracked. So kind of like the same thing with Bitcoin and cryptocurrency. You follow what I'm saying? So with that being said, oh, we got Diana. There you go. Oh, yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, geez. Now you're making me blush. Now you're making me feel like a jerk. What a jerk. Anyways, we got Diana there with an extra 250 pesos. Hell yeah. All right, let's see what that was. All right. Thank you so much, Diana. Shout out to you. I was just busting your chops. Look at that, 420, 1420. That's perfect. All right, that's actually perfect. Thank you very much. All right. But anyways, anywho's, so that's what a peer-to-peer transaction is. So cryptocurrency, okay, Bitcoin, all right, Monero, especially Monero, which is the most private. Okay, there's a bunch of privacy coins. We're just going with the names that people know. All right, I'm not trying to confuse people out there. All right, so we're gonna go with Monero. Okay, XMR. All right, that's the chart. All right, for anyone that likes to charting out there. Okay, but how it works with Monero is that they're a privacy coin, meaning that nobody knows. There's no block. I mean, there's a blockchain, but there's no tracking of the blockchain. Okay, we're not getting into any technical anything here. There's no technical mumbo jumbo. All right. So long story short, if I'm purchasing, let's say I got Bitcoin. Okay. Let's say that I got this telephone. Okay. And I never registered this telephone with nobody. And I was able to put a Bitcoin wallet on there. And I put Bitcoin on that wallet. And then I got this wallet that is not attached to anyone or anything. Remember, this phone, I just bought the phone at Walmart or whatever, all right? Just to give you a hypothetical so you can see how this works, okay? With Bitcoin, because Bitcoin is not private, but you can make it private. And there's a lot of layers and a lot of technology that they're adding to Bitcoin that will eventually make it private. So again, Monero is a privacy coin all around, but Bitcoin also has the ability to become private. But, again, if you... the reason I'm talking about privacy at the moment is because, for example, the only way to really buy Bitcoin at the moment is that you got to go to a place like Coinbase, okay? Or Bitso. Bitso's a Mexican one. We're going to be talking about all this, okay? Or Binance, okay? Binance, that's where we're looking at the chart there. But the thing is that immediately once you're going to start doing an account, once you're going to start registering to start doing Bitcoins, trading Bitcoin, buying, selling, whatever, you're going to have to give all this information. You know what I mean? You're going to have to basically give a blood sample, give a passport, take a picture, do all these things. You know what I mean? Yes, I was hyperbolicing, about the blood sample. But long story short, they ask for a lot of IDs. In fact, more IDs than a bank account, in a sense, right? If you're going to open up a bank account. So that is called KYC, Know Your Customer. Okay, know your customer. These are rules and regulations so that they can protect you from yourself. government, the banks, they're always so good to you. So they're just trying to protect you from yourself, from you committing any crimes on yourself or whatever. I don't want to get into it, okay? But anyways, long story short, when you do the KYC, and let's say you set up an account with Binance, all right, and you give up all that information, whatever you buy or sell there, they track it. They know it all right? So, eventually people are like, well, wait a minute, this ain't so private. Wait a minute, what's the whole point of having Bitcoin if they know everything? Yeah, exactly. All right. So that's why they, the government throughout the years have made it very difficult for you to purchase Bitcoin or cryptocurrency with cash. Okay. Or to even or to even know about the anonymity of what crypto is. So like I said, you can still do things anonymously, which most people can figure out and know if you know about the technology and what it is. But long story short, you can simply but that's the thing though. Let's say that you were to, get a phone, not tracked, not anything, nobody knows anything, okay? And then you're trying to purchase Bitcoin to put on here. Yeah, back in the day, you could do that and keep it anonymous and nobody knows about that wallet. But not these days. Now these days it's so difficult for you to purchase Bitcoin, okay? Without giving up all this information that once you purchase it, no matter where you put it, once it gets on here, they know who it belongs to and they tracked it all the way. Now, there's things that you can use like mixers and there's other technology that, again, I can't really even talk about here, all right, because I don't know what they censor, they don't censor. But it's out there. All this information is out there. I'm not, but you can, again, hypothetically buy it somewhere, where they're tracking you and then you're sending it. But again, the initial buy, the initial purchase is where they got you. So it doesn't really matter what the hell, if you stick it up your butt, you know what I mean? They don't care, that they got you, all right? So that's the thing, There's ways in which you can meet up with people. You go to local Bitcoins, okay, .com, for example, or other websites like that, or other vehicles like that in which you can, anonymously, purchase and Bitcoin for cash. Okay, either by meeting with somebody. Again, I meet with Lambo, okay, and Lambo gives me cash, okay, and I give him Bitcoins, and I just give him the Bitcoin, and then that Bitcoin might or might not be tracked. You know what I mean? We don't know. You know what I mean? So the thing is that so that's why people go into things like Monero and are interested in things like privacy coins and they're all on other people that are in the technology space are trying to make Bitcoin private and do things like that. So that way, it doesn't really matter, they might be able to track it initially, for example, like they might be able to track like this, immediately once they print this money from the printer and they can, basically track it all the way up until the bank or the first person. But once the bank gives this to, I don't know, OXXO or gives it to a store to give out as change, that's it. They can't track it no more. You follow what I'm saying? So that's what they're trying to do with Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies to allow, it to really be a digital cash. And the reason I can't talk about too much about this stuff is because, again, right now with the banking crisis more than anything else, and I'm sure you've already heard it. See, back in the day when I used to talk about this stuff, not only was it, crazy talk and what are you talking about? These things are never going to happen, to fast forward to today where, it seems like everyone already knows about these things. So what are these things that I'm talking about? Well, a lot of people are talking about BRICS. A lot of people are talking about a new currency, the fall of the dollar. A lot of people are talking about, the fact that we're going to have a digital dollar, digital currencies, digital, CBDCs, so these are central bank digital currencies, and we're not going to have access to paper money anymore. It's all going to be digital, and it's all going to be tracked, and we're going to be, and just like China, and okay, so a lot of people are scared and they're worried about that, but then there you go. That's why we got this stuff called crypto that's going to throw a monkey wrench into all that. Because again, what did I just explain as to how, you can function with digital money, and the thing like Monero is already anonymous, like paper money. So imagine once Bitcoin gets to do that. And again, that's why the importance of privacy is a major component to all of this, all right? Let's not forget that, okay? So There's a lot of cryptocurrencies. Let's just look into this right now. You know what I mean? Someone was talking about XRP. You know, there's tons of currencies out there, and they all have their use. In fact, some of these currencies you want to be tracked. That's the blockchain. The only thing a blockchain is, again, there's all these fancy words and blah blah blah, but all a blockchain is a filing cabinet to keep things in order. So yes, you know what I mean? Let's say the government or other entities like that, a corporation, you know, they're handling a lot of transactions and money. Yeah, you kind of want to track all that, right? Right. We're supposed to, you know exactly what the government's up to. And we're supposed to keep privacy, right? Privacy to the citizens, right? And, you know, as for the banks, you know, and other entities, it needs to be what's the word I'm looking for? Transparent as humanly possible. So that's a blockchain. We have access to everything, every transaction. You follow me? So in many cases, some of these coins, some of these projects, some of this technology is going to be very useful to keep track of the people that are, you know, doing whatever they want with our own money. All right. And then at the same time, it's also going to give the technology available to you, all right, and it's already available these days, so that you can now, you know, purchase. Now you can use money digitally, digital money in the digital space, and remain anonymous and remain private, like a private citizen is supposed to be, right? Right? Yeah, I don't know, because it seems to me like for a lot of people out there that, you know, some people have realized that we've lost all our rights, and some people are still in la la land, thinking that they haven't lost any rights. So these are the rights, all right, that especially in the USA, I'm talking about most Americans, okay, that, you know, our forefathers fought for, and these days are becoming lost because of the central banks. I'm talking too much. This is why they took away my other channel, because I used to talk about this on a regular basis, all right? I still got the other channel, but this is why I had to create this channel, okay? To talk about only living in Mexico. And I'm trying to remain on topic here, okay? I'm sorry, I go off way too much, okay? So, and by the way, this is why I don't talk about these things anymore, because even not only do people not really care about this stuff, but at the end of the day, it's, you know, the people that do care, which are the overlords out there, don't want me talking about too much about it. But long story short, let's get into it. How can you purchase, okay, in Mexico? So you got multiple options, okay? Basically, you can purchase, okay? If you are in the US or you're in Canada, you're in whatever, and you want to give up all your IDs and, you know, do all that stuff, you can purchase, you know, using, you know, Coinbase, Binance, Bitso. Bitso is a Mexican exchange, but they work in the US as well. So anyways, there's many ways in which you can purchase these coins, okay? In fact, if you have Mexican ID, you can even purchase with cash with Binance, okay? You can go to OXXO. You know, OXXO is the convenience store like 7-Eleven, and you can go out there and purchase crypto for cash, okay? So Joe Peace says, is Lambo a Mexican thing, or could you tell me about him or her? There's a lot of history with Lambo. You know what? If there's any OGs in the chat, maybe they can let him know about Lambo, all right? And if not, I'll talk about him briefly later. But he's a chicken nugget. An Easter egg, all right? What do I mean by Easter egg? You know, again, for the OGs that have been watching the channel for a million years, that's where Lambo came from, and there's significance to Lambo, so whatever. You know, we'll talk about him later. But, yeah, so as I was saying, you know, there are ways, you know, in which you can purchase Bitcoin, and even through cash. So you can get your, you know, eventually your Mexican ID and, you know, just download Binance and things like that, and you can go and purchase Bitcoin with cash. You know, just like you can buy, you know, gold and silver with cash out here in Mexico. And with the banking crisis that's coming up now, this is why people are interested in how they can not just purchase, you know, these things, but how they can sell it and how they can, you know, get rid of it. So like I said, you know, if you do your homework and your research, you know, you can very easily online find, you know, ways in which you can meet up with other individuals, whether online or in person, and purchase these things. And that will be the ultimate anonymity, especially if you're going to buy something like, you know, Monero, okay? But there's many layers to this, and one needs to educate themselves, you know, on how to do it, you know, to remain super anonymous. You know, there's many things that you can do, like purchase, you know, what is it, like cold wallets, okay? A cold wallet. Let me see if I think I got a cold wallet here. Hold on. Let me show you what a cold wallet is. Might as well show you. So this is a cold wallet, okay? All right. Here, let me give you guys a bigger. Okay, this is like, you know, once you're expert level crypto. Come on, focus. Why won't it focus? Anyways, so it's something like this, all right? It's a little thing like this, and you keep your Bitcoins on here, okay? Or your crypto on here. That's a cold wallet, okay? That's like expert level. But at the end of the day, how this works is that not your keys, not your Bitcoin, okay? That's the reality of it, okay? And so a lot of people, you know, they purchase these things and they keep them on things like a Binance, you know, which is an exchange, or things like a Coinbase or Bitso. And anything can happen, like it's happened, you know, again, everything that's happened with like SVB or whatever, you know, all these things have been happening recently, you know, you basically overnight, you can lose everything. But if you got your coins here, okay, just like you would have these coins on you personally, okay, or you would have cash on you on hand, you follow what I'm saying? This is how you keep. Okay, so this is something like this is how you really keep your Bitcoin. That's really the safest way, because the only way to get it is that you have to access it. You literally have to come and get this from my hands, just like you would have to get this coin from my hands. Okay, and by the way, I can crush this, and if there's anything in here, as long as I got the code in here, it doesn't matter. I can just regenerate this on another one of these or whatever wallet. So, you know, which again, someone takes this from me, I can't really, you know, they can just, I mean, you know, I can't, what am I going to stick it in my butt, you know? They're still going to probably want to get it. So anyways, so that's the thing, you know what I mean? Like, there's many layers to this. It's just a conversation that I can talk about for a long time. In fact, you can, if you really want to know more, you should go to my YouTube page, my original, you know, here, I guess I'll pop it up here for a minute. Okay, this is my original, you know, YouTube page out here, and then you see I talk about crypto. I mean, I kind of put more of the Bitcoin stuff. I mean, sorry, down below, and I put more of the Mexico stuff up above. But again, Bitcoin for beginners. You know, we'll talk about a lot of these things. All right. You know, was Bitcoin created by the government? You know, whatever, all that stuff. Okay, we talk about more in depth there if you want to know more in depth about this subject. But you know, long story short, you know, how do you buy Monero? How do you buy, you know, crypto in Mexico? Unfortunately, you know, the only real way you have is that you got to sign up for one of these, and then with this, and by the way, you can sign up with these, you know, with US ID, Mexican ID, whatever, but you sign up for one of these and you simply purchase it. You know, you can purchase it with your bank card or with cash. You know, again, Bitso is great. I don't really use Coinbase out here. That's more in the USA, maybe other countries. Binance is great international. You know, Binance is amazing. Okay. And yeah, you can even, like I said, you can buy with cash. And then if you do your research, you know, there's ways in which you can access the ability to, you know, buy crypto from an individual. You know, again, whether it's online and you never see each other's face, or face to face, literally face to face in front of each other. Okay. But if, by the way, if there's any questions regarding this topic at all, let me know. All right, let me know. We'll talk about it now. Now, back in the day, back in, you know, when I first got here 5 years ago, I used to be able to purchase Bitcoin anonymously at 7-Eleven, at the OXXO, at the convenience store. And I used to move it around anonymously, and I used to be able to sell anonymously, you know, basically say, hey, I got to sell some Bitcoin or get rid of some Bitcoin, you know, or trade it for pesos. And I was able to just go pick up my pesos, you know, at the OXXO and things like that. But, you know, quickly after I moved here, things started to change very quickly, and it was very difficult to really do anything. So that's why a lot of times, you know, what I had to do was, you know, if I got any crypto or whatever, I would have to do things like I was saying in the other video, where I had to, you know, take it to another exchange or the Cash App or what have you, or have somebody else help me out with it, and then basically, you know, trade it for dollars, and then get those dollars deposited into, you know, a family member's bank account, and then get that money transferred to me and things like that. And then eventually I would just do it through my own bank accounts and things like that. But at the end of the day, you needed the bank accounts. You needed to have bank accounts. And, there was no real infrastructure for that. And the thing is because, again, in Mexico, they are already very scared of the banks. They don't trust the banks is what I'm trying to say. And so they are already prepared for that. It's like they don't really need Bitcoin per se, because most of Mexico functions on cash only. But let's just say that, when we have a huge financial crisis and the banks fail in Mexico like they will in other parts of the world, then people will then maybe adopt cryptocurrency, because they'll be like, we're not going to trust these banks anymore. We're done. We'll just do cryptocurrency, and that's it. And they'll be well versed on all that, because they just need a digital currency. They already have a functioning economy, with paper money or silver or whatever, okay? We're in the U.S. and Canada and Europe. I mean, come on, you know what I mean? Like, if you don't have, access to your bank card and you get the, what I'm saying, your bank and your digital money, because most of you guys already have digital money, which is the U.S. dollar or the euro, but it's all done, through your bank, and you use your bank card for everything. If that's what you rely on and that system fails, then you're really, really, really going to be hurting. But, places like Mexico, they're not even going to feel it. They're not even going to, it's not even a thing. So that's the thing. It's that's why, crypto adoption here is a little different. And, but I think, real soon, like, again, if there is a banking crisis that is also going to affect Mexico, is going to affect the whole system. Oh, yeah, people are going to be able to adopt this out here quickly. But there is no infrastructure. There's no proper infrastructure. They don't have the on-ramps, out here, for example, or off-ramps, meaning, back in the day, there used to be ATMs, not just in Mexico, but in other parts of the world, ATMs in which you could purchase Bitcoin with cash only. And then you could sell Bitcoin for cash and no ID whatsoever. But now everything is KYC. Everything is, tracked to the max. They want every ID that you can imagine. They want all kinds of, everything. They want to track every single thing that you do with cryptocurrency. And it's, again, for your safety. But it's really not. It's really more to, again, mitigate the damage that the crypto is doing, make you not want to use it. They're taxing it to death. And basically, they're going to roll out a digital currency, a new dollar, a new whatever. And they're going to say, hey, look, you can use these new US dollar cryptocurrencies instead of Bitcoin. It has no fees. It's all this stuff. I mean? It's a way. I don't want to get into it all here, but it's well on its way. They're well on the way, to making this change, and they're making it more and more difficult for you and to use these things, or even, care about them. Again, they're trying to move as many people away from this as humanly possible. But long story short, in a very short amount of time, when this whole crisis happens, a lot of people. Remember how in the last episode we were talking about how to transfer money to Mexico? Well, imagine if the banking crisis happens and it's a worldwide crisis, and you still need to transfer money to Mexico, or transfer money from one part of the world to another. Well, there you go. That's where you got crypto, Bitcoin, and things like that. So, yeah, you'll see. It's going to be very interesting as everything happens. I know a lot of people are very scared of, what's coming these days, with all the uncertainty around the world. But I am not, I'm not that worried per se. I know we're going to have difficult times ahead, but because of things like this technology, like this cryptocurrency stuff, we're going to be totally fine. It's just, nothing's going to be easy. Change is coming. But because of technologies like this, we got the new technology, okay? New technology like Bitcoin, Monero, cryptocurrency as a whole, just the whole space, everything about the space, okay? We got that new technology, and let's not forget, we also have the oldest technology, okay, which is, again, gold and silver and other commodities. I would highly suggest you start looking into having actual physical gold, silver, copper, whatever. All right, you name it. All right. So, all right, let me look through the chat real quick, okay? As we start rolling, what is it? We start ending this live stream, and we get ready for the next live stream, the last live stream, okay? Which is going to be coming up soon, a few minutes after we're done here. So all you got to do, again, if you want to, once we're done with this live stream and you're still around and you want to be around for the next live stream, please come check out, go to my YouTube page and click on the next one, which is, will you be getting sued? We're talking about getting sued and rights in Mexico. That's the next subject. So if you're interested in that, again, go to my YouTube page, check that out, click on that. If you're watching this in the future, meaning after we've broadcast this, again, I got a playlist, where you can see all the questions that I've answered, every single one of these questions that I've answered. And if you want to know how you can ask a question, all you got to do is just click on the link in the chat in the description of this video, and it takes you straight to my website. All right, on my website, it's going to take you to here. Again, if you go to my website, you can also click on personalized consultations, and then there it's going to explain everything to you on how you can ask me a question or how you can reach out to me for a one-on-one personalized consultation. And we get to talk about more of these things in private, because there's a lot of things I can't really talk about here. It is what it is, unfortunately. But hey, no worries. We can still at least briefly touch on them and have an episode like today. So, all right, let me go through the chat real quick, see if I missed anything. If there's anything else you want to talk about, let me know. All right, so Joe Peach says, what everybody wants to know is Lambo, where did Lambo come from? So Lambo came from when I first moved here, and I moved to the place that I was in, Paseo Montejo, the red house, the one that you guys saw me move into, maybe on the Tangerine Travel interview or whatever. But in that home, once I was living there, like in the first few months that I was living there, one of the neighbors was moving, and part of the stuff that they were throwing out was Lambo. I guess that they had like a daycare or some sort of child care facility across the street, and one of the things that they were getting rid of was Lambo. All right. And by the way, he did not have the name Lambo. He was just a horse back then. And so back then, again, I would talk about cryptocurrency. I would talk about Bitcoin. I would talk about all this stuff. And so, the whole thing with, in the Bitcoin world, the memes, the whole, nomenclature of everything in the whole crypto space is, when Moon, when are we going to become millionaires? When Lambo, when are we going to be able to afford a Lambo? So, yeah, back then I used to just talk about crypto and Bitcoin and all this other stuff. So, yeah, 100%. When I brought him in for the first time, and he was in one of the live streams, one of the cryptocurrency live streams that I was doing, the people in the audience, in fact, Hugo, all right, shout out to Hugo out there. He was the one that named him Lambo. And that's the name that stuck, and well, forever, ever, he's always been around. And we got Lambo. He represents, and so the reason I've always kept him around is simply because a lot of times I talk about subjects like what I'm talking about now, or I'm talking about, let's say, on the Mexico channel right now. This is why I'm bringing him back. I'll talk about immigration. I'll talk about all this stuff. And yet, even though I have like lawyers and experts, and I do have sources that I cite and I give to people, in order for them to do more research on their own, I still have many people that hate, and they're always, just hating on me and my channel. And so to me, the best way to combat that is to just have a fake horse that I talk to, right, Lambo? Hey, how's it going, guys? And I keep it like crazy, meaning like, hey, anyone out there, take my advice and everything I'm talking about on this channel with a grain of salt. You're literally taking advice from a guy with a talking horse that's made out of styrofoam on the show. I mean, I don't know what else to say. So if you're out there, and you're fighting, combating me on facts, like, hey, Jose, you're not stating all your facts. Even though every single thing you said is 100% true, you missed a dot or an I here, or you're not saying this exactly, whatever, because your English not so good. Listen, man, you're talking to a guy with a talking horse, bro. I don't know what to tell you or anyone out there that's in the comment section or what have you, hating on me and my channel and the things that I do. Okay? So, again, and that goes also to everyone in the audience, okay, that watches my channel. Don't be blaming any of your decisions on me, a guy with a talking horse, okay? Everyone out there in the audience is an adult, okay? And everyone out there in the audience, okay, should be old enough and equipped enough, all right, to make their own decisions. This channel, like other channels and other information on YouTube, is there to just give you some information, but at the end of the day, you have to make up your own mind, and you need to, again, make these decisions on your own, whatever the decision is. You cannot just go on one website, one one YouTube page, one anything, and just go with that, okay? And because it's just not gonna work. You need to, watch various things, read various things, do a lot of research on your own, and then make up your own mind and decision, okay? And that's it. And so that's really what it is. A lot of people, common sense ain't so common. That's just the reality of it. And so unfortunately, a lot of people these days are lacking some common sense, and that's why we have some of these troubles when it comes to that. And so that's why I just brought Lambo back, because I'm not even going to have a discussion with any of these people out there, that are out there saying that I don't got all my facts straight. Listen, I know I don't, and that's not my job to do. My job is just to make YouTube videos, okay? Now, the YouTube videos I make just happen to inform a lot of people, because I'm giving you information based on my own experiences and other people's experiences, okay? That I have shown and documented on the show many times, and will continue to do so. So again, take it all with a grain of salt, okay, at the end of the day. So that's why Lambo's more important than ever these days, to have around, because as I'm getting, so much more hate as the channel keeps growing, well, we got to take out the big guns, and that's my horse, what I mean? My what is it? My fake styrofoam horse, all right? And that's it. Now, you take my advice and it works out for you, great. You take my advice and only my advice, and it doesn't work out for you, and you're trying to blame me and get mad at me, again, let me emphasize, it's a guy with a fake plastic horse. Okay? So, anyways, I hope that, shed some light on Lambo, because, Lambo is an important figure, I think, in the show. And, I think that we strayed, man. We strayed away from course, from the prize on this show and this channel when Lambo took a sabbatical, he was, it is what it is. Lambo had things to do, and he got stuck in another part of the world. You already know, we had a crazy last few years. So, again, you see how I talk about this fake thing as it's real? I don't even know what else to say. So, like I said, for any other YouTubers out there that, I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. People just take this too seriously, man. Bruh. All right, okay. Let's read some more comments. All right. Jose says, have I ever been to San Miguel del Allende, Guanajuato? I have not. I want to travel Mexico more. I've only been to a few places. I've only been to Mexico City, Oaxaca, Tijuana, and Cancun. That's it. But yes, I want to travel more. I want to see a lot more places. Good grief, Jose is here giving us free advice, and people are giving heartburn because of reasons. Yeah. I mean, for real, because that's a thing. And I mean, I don't want to get into it, but yes, exactly, Teresa. Teresa, thank you very much. I really appreciate that. And shout out to you. I saw that you left a super chat in one of the videos, so thank you very much as well. Thank you, and thank you to Diana. All right, thank you, both of you guys. Shout out to both of you guys. Diana says, you keep it fun. Lambo's a reminder that we are here for entertainment. Exactly. Seriously, if anyone gets crazy about stuff, they should just hire an attorney. Exactly. Thank you. Very well said. Very well put. Okay. And even though I have attorneys and experts on the channel, listen, guys, again, I constantly remind you, to go out there and hire somebody that you are comfortable with. Okay. Or even better yet, I give you all the information so you can basically do it on your own if you want to, okay? You just gotta know Spanish, all right? Sorry. Eat a salbute for me. Yes, sir, I will. But anyways, guys, so yeah, I hope that this episode, talking about this subject, which was cryptocurrency, was well and good, and that you guys got some information out of it. Again, if you really want more information, I highly suggest, just go to let's go back here. Come back over here, go to my YouTube page, okay? And then go all the way down, scroll to the bottom, and then right here, the first one, okay? It's me, my face. It's gonna take you to my old channel. So look here, well, let's watch this for a minute, all right? Today we're gonna be talking about the truth behind leaving the US of A. Look at that. Stay tuned for more. Hey Lambo, man, that's a nice flag you got there, brother. All right. Looks really, really nice.
Look at the Bitcoin t-shirt.
Freely into the wind. Go America.
And by the way,
right?
Oh yeah, sorry. By the way, as you guys can see back there, you know what I mean? You see that laptop and the conditions I was working under, okay, in the same heat I'm working in under right now. That's what I used to just make it happen on a laptop, okay? So that's why when I talk to people about just coming out here and doing it, listen, man, it's not for everybody, all right? I was in my crazy little world, you know, just trying to make this YouTube thing happen, and yeah, it happened. I'm great. I'm happy. I'm very happy. Been able to do a lot with it, but it took a lot of work, a lot of effort, okay? And you know, a lot of it came from that laptop. In fact, I still got that laptop, you know, here. Let me show it to you guys. 1 second. It's right here. Look at that. And extra stickers on it, by the way. See, look, this one's already faded. Okay, but you know how many videos, how much magic I made on this before I you know, I got that there. So humble beginnings, guys. Humble beginnings, all right? And, you know, like I've said it many times, Bitcoin and cryptocurrency saved my life, because if it wasn't for that technology, I really would not have had access, you know, to the bank. Well, I had no access to the banking system, but I really would not have had any access to really be able to, you know, have the funds and do a lot of the things that I've done in the past. So cryptocurrency, to me, you know, I can honestly say has saved my life multiple times. I've talked about it multiple times on older videos. And, you know, a lot of people don't really understand that because they've never had to deal with a situation like mine. But there's a lot of people around the world that have already been dealing with these situations. Again, just go to Africa, Latin America, go to a lot of places with a lot of turmoil, and you'll see how they've, you know, Bitcoin and crypto has already saved multiple, you know, I would say millions of lives that people just never heard of, you know, have no idea. So because it gives people the ability, okay, the ability, because again, let's say you're, you know, leaving a war. Okay, let's say you are in a war-torn country and you need to leave, and you got a little bit of money, a little bit of wealth, and you're not going to be able to take it like this or in paper money because bad guys are going to take it away from you. But if you put it in crypto, not only can you take it, you can probably send it across the border to family and friends that, you know, will be able to have it and guard it and save it, whatever. In fact, you can, I've talked about it so many times, you know, with cryptocurrency, you can literally even move it, you know, from phone to phone, okay, far distances without internet, without cell phone towers, okay, only with radio signals, okay, which is the most primitive, okay, of technology. So yeah, no, man, you know, like a lot of people just don't know. So this is why, you know, people, you guys better start educating yourself on what all of this really is, because, you know, again, you know, Bitcoin is going to get to $1 million at some point, and there's going to be a reason. Again, think to yourself, now that you know more about inflation, now you know more about all of these things that I used to talk about and nobody cared, but now everybody cares about these things. Well, guess what, guys? You know, educate yourself more, and then you'll realize, oh, wait, now I see how Bitcoin will get to $1 million. Now I see how all these things will get to that point. You know, because again, we're now experiencing a you know, once in a multi-generation, you know, the last time anything like this happened was 500 years ago, guys. Okay, with the printing press, we're going through a very similar monster change with the internet, and this is the money of the internet. It's one of the aspects of the internet. Right now, we are using the, you know, the what is it? The telecommunications aspect of the internet. I mean, think about it. Just a few years ago, it was impossible for me to talk to a humongous audience out there. You know what I mean? And do the things that I'm doing with YouTube or whatever it is. So, I mean, guys, you know, for anyone out there is like, oh, is crypto too late? Bitcoin too late? Or is any... Listen, man, you guys better start educating yourself. We are still at that point where back in the 90s, remember, like, what's email? What's the internet? Yeah, we're still there. We're still there. You know, people still don't know what the internet is. You know, even though we're all using it. You know, people are like, oh my God, there's all this censorship. Is there really? Is there? I mean, have you ever really traveled the internet, you know, outside of Facebook? Yeah, exactly. Anyways, so yeah, no, guys, you know, man, you know, the wild, wild west is here, and so we are in the middle of the wild, wild west, and so many people have no clue, You know, everybody thinks that they're, you know, going into dystopia. You know, like, oh my God, you know, they're going to lock me in a box and give me the credit score. Yeah, if you want to, if you don't educate yourself, yeah, that's probably going to happen. But if, you know, you educate yourself, prepare yourself, and I don't know, you know, maybe, you know, end up in a country like Mexico and get yourself a fake plastic horse, maybe you'll be okay. All right. But if you're, you know, if you're still going to, you know, keep betting on whatever your situation is to get better, you know, anyways, all right, enough on this subject. Again, as you guys now can easily see why I used to do live streams on these subjects for hours on end, just talking to me and the horse and the audience, and yeah, okay, man, good times, man, strange times, right? Interesting times, that is for sure. So with all that being said, all right, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video and today's episode talking about cryptocurrency. Again, if you want more information, go to my YouTube page, all right? Like I said, on my YouTube page, you're going to find, you know, other videos, very old videos, okay, that I've done, you know, talking about many things, including cryptocurrency, and hopefully that'll give you some more information. But again, I would highly recommend, don't even look at any of my stuff, you know, look at other information. Now, these days, my God, there's just so much more information out there. It's incredible. Next level. So, a lot better information than me and my fake horse. So with that said, all right, guys, we're going to wrap this show up, okay? Thank you to Anonymous out there again for this show. We're now going to the next episode, okay? And, sorry, the next live stream. So we're ending this live stream. If you want to stick around, all right, please just go to my YouTube page and click right over here, all right, on the next live stream, and we're going to be joining this live stream in a few minutes, all right? So I need to take a break so I can breathe, and I'll be here in a few minutes. All right, guys, so thanks again for watching. You already know the deal. If you want to ask me a question, you want to learn how, click on all the links, and I'll see you there. All right, thanks again for joining me today, and I'll see you guys in